Yo, what's up, crew? Welcome back into the Agency Therapy Podcast. Joined today by Mr. Tyler Armstrong. Say what's up, Tyler.
What up?
If you guys don't know Tyler runs all the media here at Hydra and is the creative director here. And we have a specific topic that we're going to chat about today. Are we making a huge mistake by going out to London for our next Hydra Council event? It's something that we've been planning for quite a while now. And we're bringing our team out there. We've never done an international event before. We've done them here in Nashville, but never done the international event. I guess, what are you most excited about, Tyler?
Going across the world with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool that doing what we do for work affords us the opportunity to do it, but I'm like, I get to go across the country with all you guys.
Yep.
So I've never been out of the country. I'm excited for that aspect, but also like to see logistics be planned for something that big and then it be on a complete opposite side of the earth.
Yep.
It's like, man, that shows a good testament to everything that needs to be put in place to run a successful event. So it'll be cool to passively hear all the planning, and then we go down there having, like, it's not like we can just fly down there often and make sure everything's getting set up good. It's like you build it out here and then you fly to it. So
Yeah.
it'll be cool to connect that.
Yeah, it's cool. And we have a good chunk of it planned already. So we start these plannings like 3 months before we even start selling tickets. So really we're like 8 months out when we start our planning. So this one is at the venue. It's called The View. It's at the Royal College Surgeons of England, which is such a crazy venue. And we'll put a little screenshot if you're watching the YouTube or whatever. We'll show you what this looks like. It's a pretty dope campus. And then the inside of the room is crazy as well. It's going to be like a kind of like a tube shaped like venue. It's like, it's very long, so it's like it's a square room, but it's a very long room, but it has like a bunch of monitors on each side and they kind of stack so you can see the presentation, and it's got
cool.
like a built-in system. So what's great about doing it kind of off-site is, like, typically when we do Hydra Council here in Nashville, we kind of like Frankenstein an event together, because where we typically host it is in our building, right? Which is where I live. So it's very convenient from that aspect, and we get crazy discounts. So the event venue for us is like $2,000 for the entire weekend, which, if you guys know anything about booking event space, it's super expensive. So it's like it's literally 10x difference between what we're paying for this venue in London versus what we pay for here in Nashville. So it's like just a huge discrepancy in like what we're gonna actually have to do, and that's kind of like the topic of like this video is like, is this gonna be a huge mistake? Are you gonna make money on this? Who knows? One thing that we are kind of looking forward to about the event, though, is a lot of our clients are in the UK, so we're gonna be able to hang out with them and actually spend some time.
Face.
Yep, exactly. So get some face time with them, and some of them meeting them for the first time.
Yeah.
A couple clients that, they've been with us for over 2 years, and we've never met face to face before. So getting the opportunity to kind of hang with them should be pretty fun.
I think it's good that because some of them will fly into our events here in the U.S., but I think it's equally, it shows that relationship side for us to like come to them as well.
Yeah.
And like bridge that gap.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Making sure, like you said, like they're not just making the effort to come over here. We're making the effort to go over there. So
especially with that being a lot of where our clients live, man, that's a big deal.
For sure. So we're going to be right in downtown London. That's where the event's taking place. It's venue's cool. We're not 100% sure like what everything looks like quite yet. Because like in these beginning stages of planning, it's like, all right, well, we just got to get the venue. Once we get the venue, then the rest of the planning kind of comes together. And as the time of this recording, we have essentially it's the last day in July right now. So we have August, September, and then at the end of October. So about 3 months to kind of get everything finalized and get the room packed. And so right now we're doing 70 tickets being sold.
More than what we've done here.
So it's just a little bit larger room, so we just have more capacity for more people. And then we have some really great speakers this year. Have you heard about our speakers yet?
I haven't.
No?
So let's rip it.
Yeah, let's rip the room real quick. So obviously Nicholas and I will be out there. I don't think I'll be speaking this year. I wanted to invite some more guest speakers because people hear me speak all the time.
Yeah.
So I'll be there. Nicholas and I will be hosting. Nicholas will be speaking. One of our teammates. Corey Jackson will be out there from Sales Haven as well, but he'll be talking about a lot of sales strategy techniques, things that are working in the agency space right now, which I'm stoked about. And he spoke at Hydra Council in Nashville as well. He's local here with us. And then we have the Soar With Us guys. If you guys don't know, the Soar With Us guys are in the e-com niche. So we have Ollie Hudson speaking. We have Lucas Hamby from Hamby Media. They just recently merged their agencies together. So that was pretty cool. And then we have their head of operations, Matt Lewis, which will be really solid. So you're kind of getting three different people from a really fast growing agency in the UK. And I'm stoked to see these guys because we have not seen them yet.
Will they bring their own audience almost? Like,
for sure.
Them being speakers at our event, kind of pulling people from their ecosystem?
Yeah, and that was kind of like the angle that we were going at, is we're going to have a lot of UK-based speakers, so they could hopefully pull our audience for some tickets and stuff, because it's like we have a decent audience in the UK, but I think we would have to run some sort of advertisements in order to kind of fill the seats for an event like this. So our hope is that we can utilize their networks while we're out there and be able to work alongside of them on this event. So that's really exciting. So we have the Soar With Us team that will be out there. Avin Klein from Lucid, which is a really good one if you guys aren't familiar with Lucid. Big THC, CBD, hemp space type agency. They only work with those types of brands. So Aaron Spish. So he's also a co-founder of that business. Avin will be out there, which would be great. Taylor McMaster, who spoke at Nashville this year, she was like, "Hey, if you're doing one in London, I'm coming out. I'm coming out." And if you guys don't know Taylor, she has like an account management specialist, so she helps place account managers in other agencies, and she's like so good at like client success, account management, making sure you guys are reducing churn rate. So
she had a really tactical speech at Hydra, which was such a good refresh.
Yeah, super tactical. She was very giving with her time, like just came in and just brought value for 2 days straight. So excited to see that one roll out. And then our boy Ryan Stacy, which if you guys don't know, Ryan, just an animal at sales, animal at marketing, runs a lead gen agency in a very specific niche. He was actually our top viewed podcast to date, which is pretty exciting. So Ryan's going to be out here as well from Tridus. Who else is coming? Oh, we have our sponsors as well. So we got a sponsorship. Yep, VizCap Media, Cody Iverson and Tyler Stevens. These guys are like OGs in the space. If you guys are in e-com and you're in the creative space, I mean, these are some of the guys. Like when we were building Welling Media, which was mostly creative, these guys were kind of building at the same time as us, or like starting around the same time as us. Probably a year after we started Welling, they started their creative agency, and now they're bigger than we ever were. They're massive. They're doing some really cool stuff in the tech space. So combination of like awesome creative, but also building like some cool applications for like the e-com creative space. So they're coming out, they're sponsoring, they're always electric. And if you guys have never seen Cody Iverson speak, dude is just an absolute animal. High energy the whole time. He's gonna be buying people shots and stuff. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. And then of course the legendary Nick Shackelford will be out there with us.
I'm stoked for that.
Just an absolute OG. So he's really excited for it. He's going to be kind of bouncing around Europe, and I told him the dates, and he's like, I can just make a couple of adjustments and I'll make it. So I've been asking Nick to come to a Hydra Council for 3 years now. For 3 years, I've tried to get him at the past 3, and he finally said yes. Of course, so one that's not even in the country, across the pond. He's like, yeah, let's do it.
But I think that's like a good way for him to finally get introduced to see everything that we've built. It's like, hey, it's going to be in London. Like, come to this one. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and it's a great event. I think, he's been to so many different events. So I'm excited for him to, like, see our event. He's hosted a ton of events as well. So I'm curious to see
his input after the fact.
On it, like how we do it and all of that. Because I've always kind of debriefed with him after all of our events, but he's, like, never been in the room. And so it'll be really cool to have him in the room along with us. I don't think you know this name. His name's Oliver Kenyon. He's from a company called ConversionWise, but back in like when we were building our agency, he actually had a different agency called Landing Page Guys, and they sold that company to ConversionWise, and now he's a partner in ConversionWise. But UK based, has an awesome following in the UK. His ConversionWise owns a couple of different agencies, I believe, or whoever bought their company owns a bunch of different agencies. So it's kind of cool. They'll be able to bring a lot of their teammates to the event and stuff.
That'd be cool.
And he's awesome, man. I don't know what he'll speak out quite yet. I'm very curious. I'm gonna kind of let him
take the reins.
Yeah, take the reins. I kind of hope he'll talk about some of his like acquisition stuff, some learnings from that, because so many people in the agency space, they just want they want to get acquired at some point in time. But he's worked with some really big e-commerce guys like G Fuel, Slim Fast, Bodybuilding.com, a lot of like health and wellness brands, which I guess G Fuel is not really a health and wellness brand. But
we'll get scooted in there.
Yeah, we'll get scooted in there. It's a supplement, right? He's like landed some really big deals. So maybe he'll talk on landing like these are some of the biggest brands. Like these are all probably 8 to 9 figure brands. G Fuel,
just to walk people through just the do's and don'ts through all of those.
Because
I hope he does.
Working with those types of brands is always way different. Right? It's like there's a different level of expectation. There's a different pitch process. There's even a different payment process as well. It's like you don't get to run things typically through your payment processor. You have to invoice them. They either send you a wire or something like that, or maybe they just pay the invoice through the Stripe. But it's like sometimes you're on net 30, so it's like you're having to work for 30 days before even getting a paycheck. And I remember Nicholas talking. They were working with Yahoo at one point in time, and they had a 90 or net 90 with Yahoo. So it's like you have to work for 90 days, but then you get he said like the checks that they would write him, they're like $350K for those 90 days.
Yeah, that'll be cool. What are there any logistics that is different in your approach than hosting one here in the U.S., or is it just kind of the same thing, just a different geographic location?
Yeah, I'm glad we did some here locally before trying to take it somewhere else, or away from Nashville. There's quite a bit that changes. So one, just getting the team out there. It's like we have to factor in an additional $15,000 into just travel expenses. So it's like getting flights for everyone, getting everyone out there, hotels or like wherever we're staying, Airbnbs, hotels for the team. Like we have to factor all of that in. What other logistics? We have no boots on the ground there, so it's like can't visit the venue beforehand. I guess I could send some of our clients out there, but I mean we just have to have trust that the venue is going to come together, and we're going to have maybe an hour before the event starts, just make sure
to soak in.
Good. But what's great is with this venue, it's like we're paying a much higher price point, but we're pretty hands off as far as like food and all of that.
Okay, that was my
breakfast and lunch are going to be provided at the venue. And it's like there's a whole team that runs the event, so it's like we won't even touch that stuff. So like here in Nashville, we have to run down to the lobby, go grab the food, set everything up for everyone. So here it makes it a lot easier, where it's like it'll just be catered in, and there'll be a team serving it to us. We don't have to mess with audio. We'll have the audio team there, making sure that everything's good on that side. The only thing that we're having to do is obviously bring our own video equipment and do some recordings and stuff. So, which I might even ask the Hanmi Media team to utilize some of their equipment, because it's like they have all this camera equipment, local to the UK.
Yeah,
it's like that would just be way easier on our side than having to haul a bunch of our equipment, which we will if we have to. But it's like might as well utilize some of our people over there.
Just roll what we would put in my bag. It was the most that we'd bring.
Yep. And then other logistics. Just getting all the speakers there. It's like there is a chance that, flights get canceled or something crazy happens.
It's harder to pick up on the spot how we had in the past when you're that far away from home.
Yep, for sure. So it's like this year I booked an extra speaker just in case. And it's which they'll still speak. It'll just be a little bit shorter time slot. But it's I can extend a couple time slots if needed, give people a little extra Q&A time. We could do, I could step in and I
was going to ask you.
I typically have 3 or 4 talks that I run through each year. It's I could just present one of those as well. So,
we're still doing breakout sessions.
Sessions.
See, that can cushion a lot of
and that's the thing is whenever we do those breakout sessions, they always go long too. It's people are workshopping, they're actually fixing something in their business. with either one of our consultants or one of the other attendees that are showing them stuff. So it's like, yeah, it's like open laptop, people go deep and like actually work on some stuff, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So outside of that, the logistics don't change a whole lot. It's just we're going to be relying on, other people, whereas it's like here in Nashville, it's like we can have more control over the actual product itself. So yeah, things change a decent amount so far, but the planning has been smooth. We just started early enough this time.
Yeah.
So now it's just promotion. We got to fill 70 seats. Got to make sure everyone can get there, and then should be right as right. So I'm excited for it, man. So we'll see. We'll keep you guys updated. We'll do a little postmortem on the event because it seems like a great idea, but at the same time, it's like we're sinking way more cash into this. We'll probably be, 30-40K all in by the time it's said and done. But if we sell our tickets, there's no reason we can't run profitably on this event.
Had Shaq given you any advice prior to us starting this with all the ones he's ran overseas? Or?
No, not really. Like we have a good system down, man. Like we have a good planning. Like I've been like each event that I've planned, like here in Nashville, like I've created, essentially like our entire beginning to end strategy of like, hey, this is what needs to be done. This is what needs to be done in what order. So it's like, I feel very confident in our ability to deliver a good event. My biggest worries for these events is just filling seats. It's like that's the hardest part is getting, and we don't even need 70 people there. Like we can do 40 to 50 and be just fine. But it's like we have the availability for 70, so why
shoot
not?
For it,
why not try and fill 70? So that's kind of the hopes at least. But like that's the hardest part is filling seats, and it's like even the end of like the last couple of weeks leading up to our previous events, it's like you're 3 weeks out and you're like, do you still have like 20 seats to go? And it's crazy how many people come through in the last 3 weeks. So events can be a little stressful too because you're not even remotely close to sold out, but it's like people buy everything last minute. Like, yeah, I'll come, whatever, and you're like slinging deals in the DMs and stuff. Like, hey, just come out for like, $1,500, $1,000, whatever. You're just trying to get people in seats pretty much because, at that point you're probably pretty close to break even. As well as like everything else is just cherry on top. And, we don't do it to really make money on the events. Like we do the events to build credibility, to build relationships, to show face in these communities and stuff. It just helps with brand presence, So if you guys ever need like our breakdown of how we run events, like we have an entire like ClickUp system built out for it. If you guys want that, you could DM me. Just DM me on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, something like that. I'll send it to you guys. But it's kind of all systemized at this point. It's like we just have to make the right contacts and start calling things in.
I think that's a good measurement of success, like the building the credibility and showing how well that you can host something that helps everyone network. So I'm curious, as that being like a huge point to it, like if it does go really well overseas, like do we do more overseas?
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, as long as I would feel like it's breaking even, but you built a ton of credibility and really impacted a lot of people's businesses, that's worth breaking even about.
Yeah, for sure.
Than making all this money and then no one really felt like they got much out of it. So
the LTV is good too, like we typically land clients from these events as well.
Yeah.
So like that helps us like, in the long run. But yeah, like we talk about positioning all the time, in YouTube tutorials and trainings, all of that, and podcasts. And this is part of positioning. Like it's a huge lift. It's very difficult. That's why a lot of people don't do it. But it puts us at a strategic advantage against competitors, again, in the marketplace to be differentiated of like people that host like, hey, they host really great small events. And like my goal for these events is we put them on sale. There's only 70 seats and it sells out within the first 14 days. It's like, that's how quickly I want these things to go. Like those are the level of events that we're wanting. So we're getting to that point now too, where like we could have like a part-time event planner if we're going to start doing more like international type events and stuff. So we'll see where it goes. I think, over the next couple months and after this one, it's going to really tell us like our event's going to be the thing that is going to continue to help us grow our business, because every year that we've done them, immediately after the event, we've seen increases in our business. It's like almost automatically, right? Like we see big jumps immediately after we host events. So it's like, okay, well, we went from one event for the past 3 years to 2 events this year. What happens when we jump to 4 events?
Yeah, right.
It's like, and I think that would be like the max we ever did. Even 2 is crazy to me. Like we'd have, like if we went to 4 next year, we would have to bring on some sort of event planner or something to help on that side.
Because as soon as that first one, you're already getting ready for that second.
Yeah, no, it has to be even faster than that. We would have, because if you look at our entire schedule, we start the actual planning about 8 months in advance. So like we start scouting locations, we start, looking into stuff 8 months in advance. And then at a minimum, we have to start the marketing 3 months in advance. Because like we had the venue locked down 4 months in advance. So like we found our venue, all that. So it's like we would be hosting an event while we were planning the next event, which is crazy. What's nuts is Nick Shackelford did, I think, 5 geek outs, 6 geek outs in a year.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's crazy. I mean, you're
planning. He had a whole team with him.
Yeah. He had a operations manager for it. He had multiple teammates. So, I mean, that was like a full, like, event business. It's like, we don't run an event business. We run a consulting firm, and we do events as part of it. So it's like, you eventually, if you do more and more events, you just, like, I can't plan all of them. Like, I don't have the time. I don't have the time to plan this one. So cool. That's pretty much it. We're coming to London. If you guys want to come, go check out the website, workwithhydra.com. Go to the events tab. You'll probably see some landing pages floating around. We'll put the link in the description. If you guys want a discount to the event, use the code Phoenix24. Look up how to spell Phoenix, because a lot of you are probably going to spell it wrong.
I'll drop it right here.
Yeah, Phoenix24 at checkout. I'll give you $200 off the event. So literally for the price of one of your clients' retainers for the month, you can come to the event. And if your client retainers are less than what this event costs, you definitely should come to the event, because we have some stuff to fix. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.